Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and today I am up early and trying to preserve some of our garden harvest, and I went to my local farm and got a few odds and ends that I need to continue to preserve. So extra tomatoes, I have some extra corn and squash, and we are gonna take you through. I'm gonna be freezing some items. I'm also going to be canning some items, and then in a later video, probably not this video, I'm actually going to show you how I dehydrate some of the vegetables that we have. So if you are excited, we can get right into this. Let me know if you preserve any of your garden harvest, or maybe you do go to your local farm stand and start preserving for the winter. Hopefully this will be lasting us until next summer when we start producing more in the garden, but you never know. I am not too new to this. I grew up canning and freezing things from our garden, but with our new home here, I have just started doing this within the last 4 years or so. So I'm always interested in hearing different ways of how you preserve your food. I'm not really stuck in a rut, but I know what the family likes, so that's why I'm doing it the way that I am, but I'm excited. If you are new here, we would love it if you hit that subscribe button. We make videos 4 to 5 times a week all about life here in Northern Colorado, and we would love it if you became part of our family. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button, make sure your bell notification is turned on, and let's get right into today's video. Here is what we have working with. I will start off by saying that I like to do things in batches like this so I don't overwhelm myself. I am a stay-at-home mom, and I try and just spend as much time with my kids during the day and not be too busy in the kitchen. So when you're preserving food, it does take a little bit of your time, but I find it to be very therapeutic. So it's something nice that I like to do at night, but I have some time in the morning. And we're gonna do our first round of corn. So we buy local corn from Olathe, Colorado. Olathe, I could be wrong here, Olathe maybe, but it is sweet corn. It's so delicious, and this is gonna last us, maybe a few weeks. We love making corn chowders and things like that. Cornbread, we love throwing this in here, but I'd say we do about 4 to 5 rounds of this much corn. So I will go back and get some. It tends to go on sale when we get to the end of August and September. So I am going to husk these, and I'm gonna blanch them in some warm water and then put them in some cool ice water, and then I am going to just vacuum seal and put them in the freezer. And then over here we have some zucchini from our garden, and I'm just going to shred this all up. Sometimes I make it into cubes. It really just depends. This round I'm gonna shred up because I love putting it in different sauces and curries, zucchini breads, all of those things. So I'm gonna do that, but I'm also going to be shredding some of the crooked neck too, which it doesn't shred the best, but I like mixing some of these items together. That's just something that I like to do. I don't blanch mine, but you can. I just find that it has a lot of water already in it, so I try and just get some of the water out and then I freeze it. And then we got some things from the farm stand. We're gonna do refrigerator pickles with the cucumbers back here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with some of these. I know it's very small, but this was a pay what you wanted order. I'm definitely gonna freeze some shredded carrots for salads and things like that, but this seems like a small amount to preserve, but I am a firm believer in every bit counts. I believe someone is doing that challenge right now on Instagram. Please let me know what homesteader is, because I totally forget who's doing it. But right now it's just vacuum sealing, and then I have my canning supplies over here. I am going to be sterilizing those and grabbing some tomatoes so I can start with our sauces and all of our salsas and some diced tomatoes. I'm going to do some homemade rotel, but I'm excited to jump right into this and show you how I do it. All right, here's a different angle coming from this side. See what I mean with that blue on the wall? And it's just, I feel like it's impossible to match anything with it, but I'm just taking the corn here and husking it. I don't know if any of you remember doing this as a kid, or maybe you still do it, but I used to love this. My parents would just give us a whole big thing of corn before dinner, and we would go out, my brothers and sisters and I, and just you know, get it ready for dinner. But I have family that does a huge, I guess you could say like a corn roast, but you do like cooler corn where you cook it in a cooler, and that's always a good time because I come from a huge family on both sides, so I love big family events like that, and I feel like we do it more in the summer, and that is what I've been missing. So I'm excited. We are gonna head back to PA here soon, and I just can't wait to see my family because you know, those trips are never enough time to see everybody, but it'll be nice because we only really get back maybe once a year or so, but being on a flight with the two kids was a little tricky, so that's why we don't do it too often. But I just try and like change my mindset, which is relatively new to me, but I try and change my mindset and think it's only a moment of time, and that's how I get through it, if that makes sense. But let me know if you grow your own corn and what your plans are for it, because I was talking to a gal on here and she suggested grains. I think you're from PA too, so big shout to you. But she suggested growing corn for grains instead of wheat, and I totally agree. You would yield more. There's a lot more uses for corn, so it just depends. I think I just want to try it all out and see what happens, what grows the best, what we like the most, and go from there. But in the meantime, I did order from Azure Standard. I do most of my ordering there probably once a month or so, but I ordered some wheat berries, and I'll probably just start grinding down some of our own flours and things like that, which may sound like a huge time-consuming thing to you all, which it probably is, but I have the time now that I'm home, and I want to try things like that because I don't know how long I will have the time for it, and I think the kids would be really interested in that. I have so many memories of me in the kitchen with my parents. Both of them love to cook, so I'm just going to husk all this corn and pop it in that boiling pot over there. I'd say for maybe 10 minutes, and people do corn differently. You don't have to be blanching it. I just prefer it blanched. I think it tastes a little better, but that's just me. I really wanted to get some heirloom corn, like the purple corns. Those are really beautiful, but we'll see. Because next year, I'd like to try the Three Sisters method of growing, and that I still have to study up, but you'll have to look into it. You plant your corn first, and then your beans second, and your beans trellis up the corn, and then I believe it's squash or something like that underneath. I could be totally wrong there. Please correct me. But the above crops create a cover, a shield from the sun, and then you have three crops growing together. And the Native Americans invented that, and they knew their stuff when it came to growing food. So I get a lot of my ideas and things like that from a book that I have. I will link it down in the description box. I don't think you can get it on Amazon. It's a pretty old book, and I found it at my local library sale. So they were selling it, they were getting rid of it, 15 cents. So whenever that happens, I head on up there and see what I can find. But between that book and my Pennsylvania Grange cookbooks, that is generally what you can catch me doing if I'm not in the garden or playing with the kids. But I love that book. And then the only contemporary book that I watch or that I'm reading is the Kristen Cavallari True Comfort book, recipe book, and that's actually has some really interesting recipes in there. I was not allowed to watch her show. What was it? Laguna Beach. So I'd have to go to a friend's house and we would watch it in secret. Sorry, Mom. But there were reality TV shows when I was growing up. Laguna Beach. What else was she in? the hills. I think she has a show right now. I don't really know much about her, but her food looks really great. So I digress. I'm gonna husk this and I will see you in a second. First batch in. I regret not asking my husband to get the big stock pot out, but that's okay. It'll be fine. I'm gonna put a lid on this 10 minutes and then into an ice bath, and then usually it's still warm though, so I wait a little bit and then I cut it off and we will vacuum seal. All right, while that first batch of corn is going, I'm gonna do the zucchini, and I am freezing these two items, and I did just want to say that I have to wash this one. I'm looking at it, looks dirty. Always wash your vegetables. I'm gonna go do that, but I did want to say that a lot of people might be asking why I'm freezing things. What if you lose power? Well, if we do, in the event that we do, I'm hoping that we'll have a generator by then, but I mean, we'll do what we can to salvage what we have. We usually lose power a lot out here all year round, but it's only for a little bit. And I know a lot of people are worried about these power outages that they're predicting, but we're gonna do what we normally do. I've adapted some things when it comes to my dehydrated food and my canning, but I love fresh frozen corn. It's something that I do every season, and it's kind of therapeutic. It just reminds me of getting into fall. I guess it just gets me in that mood. And I do the same with zucchini. So I'm gonna freeze these two things. You can totally do whatever you want with them, but that is what I'm doing. Let me go wash this zucchini off. I got a little eager, and then I will be back to shred it. All right, some more corn went in, and then we have some blanching in here. I just have some ice water. And then I have baking soda in here, and I'm just rinsing off that zucchini after they all fell. So hopefully there's not too many dents. I'm glad I'm preserving today though. All right, let's talk about zucchini. I feel like people love it or hate it, and it's really easy to grow, and everyone always seems to get a great bounty, but I love it shredded like this. My favorite way to use zucchini is in a fritter, but I'd say, I use it the most in sauces and things like that, just so I can sneak some vegetables in here. I've also, I think I'll do the next batch in layers to make zucchini lasagna noodles. And then the batch after that, I'll probably take out my spiralizer or my zoodle maker. It's just a hand tool, and freeze some like that, just so I can put those in with pastas. I never fully replace pasta with the zoodles, but it is a nice little addition, especially with pesto and homemade Parmesan. I just use cashews and kind of ground them down with no nutritional yeast. I don't like it. So it's really tasty. And yeah, being a plant-based eater is fun when it comes to preserving your own food, because I live off of vegetables mainly, and beans, which we have a ton coming in. I'm so happy. I was getting nervous there for a second, or maybe I'm getting impatient, but my garden, a lot of the people that I follow, they're harvesting their tomatoes and their peppers right now, and mine probably won't be here for another month. Of course, we get some here and there, but I'm trying a new way this year with some of those tomatoes, and I'm just bringing them in and letting them ripen on the countertop, and that's just with a few plants because I'm not sure, but I've heard that they taste sweeter, which I actually like that acidic taste of tomatoes, but we're gonna try that. And then my San Marzano tomatoes, I think, correct me if I'm saying that wrong, but they take forever, and they don't really produce a lot of tomatoes. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I take the bottom 12 inches of my tomato plants and cut all the new growth off. A lot of people do that. Some people don't. It really just depends. And then I go out, every other day, I feel like, or maybe every 2 days, and I get all the suckers. So everything that goes in between, I just pull out that middle part, and that seems to help. And then taking those tomatoes off has been helping. But I have a sugar baby mini tomato plant out there going absolutely insane. I'd say it's about 4 feet tall. It's ridiculous. I don't have it in a trellis or anything, and all my other tomatoes are trellised, so I don't know. I feel like I wing it every single year, and you know, some things I know what will work and what won't, but if you are curious or want to start a garden, I maybe suggest doing it my way, just winging it and see what happens. I get so much advice on what to do, and unless you're my like direct neighbor, it may not work. Of course I try your advice, but I feel like gardens are so particular to where you are. I feel like someone even across the road could get a plant more mature than mine just because the sun hits it differently, or maybe they water differently, or maybe they have something in their water that I don't, or their fertilizer's different. There's just so many elements that go into a garden, and it can make you insane. It really can. And I think it's fun just to experiment. I keep notes of everything and just to see what does well, but zucchini, man, it does awesome out here. So I'm excited to get this shredded up. All right, hair is up. We mean business. I have one little one with me. I am just doing the zucchini in classic freezer bags. I'm not doing them vacuum sealed, and it will be just fine. I'm gonna save the vacuum seal for corn. I'm just showing you that you don't need fancy gadgets to do this. And you know, just go for it, just try it. So when I'm freezing
I
this,
want to do it.
okay, in a little bit. Just hold on one sec. You can do the next bag. Okay? Okay. When I'm doing this, I try and fill up the whole bag, and then, you know, come December, say we want to use this, I'll have a few recipes that I use this in. So maybe I'll do a curry. Maybe I will do zucchini pancakes. I add tuna to the families here, and I'll put it in a marinara sauce. Maybe I'll make zucchini bread, but that will be good for the week. So I'll take this out and let it kind of defrost in my refrigerator. But that's about 3 zucchinis right here. We still have 3 to get through, so we should have 4 of these bags, but we shall see. So I'm gonna get the air out of here and label, and I'll catch you in a second. All right, we have a second cup of coffee. We're gonna move on to the corn. We have our zucchini, at least the first round, right here, and then I label everything afterwards. Thank you, Delilah. And we ended up getting 5 bags, so that's awesome. I rang some of the water out, but honestly, it's never been an issue for me as long as most of the air is out here, and even then, it'll be fine for the year, so. Here we go. We're just going to take all the corn, off the cob here, and then we'll put these in the vacuum seal bags. Here is what we have working with now. So not too much corn, but I'm gonna get these in the vacuum seal bags and then go from there, and then these can go to the chickens. Yay, here we go. All right, so I have the corn here, and when I'm doing the vacuum seal, I like to put things in the strainer just because you can kind of see that liquid coming down. You don't want that in the vacuum seal, so that's typically why I'm doing zucchini in freezer bags like this. Why not do everything like this? I do a variety of different things. Dehydrating, freezing, canning, plain old freezer bags. I mean, there's fermenting. I do a lot when it comes to preserving food. This is just my preferred method for corn. So we are gonna get these into the vacuum seal bags, and then I will show you how that works. Here is what we have right now. We have the zucchini in the freezer bags. I did get a new vacuum sealer, and I'm not sure if I am enjoying it, so we shall see. But I have these in the freezer bags, and then I just vacuum sealed and took my hair straightener across. There's something off with the sealer. It could be because the corn has too much moisture. I don't know, I have to troubleshoot with it, but right now I feel more comfortable just keeping it in the old classic. I'm gonna put these out in the freezer. I labeled them and dated them, and then I will be moving on to some pickles and some other vegetables. All right, I am starting on my pickles. I don't really have a lot. I think I'll get 4 pint-sized jars, but I'm doing an onion, and then I'm doing my pickling cucumbers. I have a large cucumber too, and then I'm using the kosher dill pickles, so I'm not gonna do any garlic in it because it has dehydrated garlic, but someone's trying to come in here. I'm not going to show you the canning process. I guess my process is considered rebel canning, and you have to look into canning. What, baby? Okay. So yeah, you have to look into it. Right now my jars are sterilizing, and then I will make the brine and cover these diced pickles and onions, but I like to do pickled veggies too, so that will be my next round. I have some fridge pickles right now. Yeah. Okay, I forget what I was saying. Oh, I have fridge pickled veggies right now that we've been munching on, but they're really good in the fall and winter months, and yeah, excited. I haven't canned in about a year or 2, I'd say, so just getting back into it. If you have taken a break from canning, you know that it's, some things are like muscle memory. You pick it up and you know it right off the bat, but I find myself like second guessing and questioning things like a mad woman right now, but I'm trying to ease my mind. I know that I'm preserving food for my family, and that's what's important. I often get comments that I'm crazy and I'm hoarding food, and someone called me clueless this morning, which I think it's silly that a trend now is just women calling other women names and then not saying anything else. If you're curious about what the world needs, in my opinion, it is kindness and love. What the world needs right now is a little bit of love and kindness. I'm always open for a discussion, or if there's a criticism, you can do it constructively, but no, I don't think it's crazy to preserve food for your family. I think that word is thrown around quite a bit in the homesteading and prepping community. As you know, we've lost a salary, so food security, of course, is going to be my number one concern, as well as our home. We are fortunate enough to have worked our butts off to get where we are today. I've even had someone comment that I'm not allowed to budget because I live in a mansion. Well, if you think that my home is a mansion, then you've obviously not seen it all. It's a mansion to us because it keeps us safe and warm, and I don't know, I'm trying not to get in all the feels, and I don't typically enjoy addressing negative comments, but I find that there's this phenomenon on the internet where you don't think that we're real people, and when we do respond, it's this big thing, like you're allowed to bully me and be so unkind, and then if I say something back, people are just outraged, that they think that because you put your life on the internet, you're open to criticism, which is absolutely absurd in my mind. So no, moral of the story, I don't think it's crazy to have food security for your family. Quite the opposite. But you're always going to have people on each side telling you it's not enough food, or it's too much food, or your food's going to go bad, or you did that wrong, or it's just, it's criticism, which I've never really done well with, but I've definitely been more open-minded. I think I was talking to a few of you, sometimes you take criticism and just ignore it, which has been always a challenge for me, and I saw it in my students. If they asked my advice on something and I told them, they would take it critically, and it just hurts my heart knowing that my words could have impacted their day negatively. So if we have a little bit more kindness and some more open minds, my goodness, then I think we can get through this. A lot of people are putting some fear into our hearts, and a lot of you have said a little fear is a good thing, which is true a little bit, but some of us like myself who struggle with mental health and anxiety, you know, that can be challenging. And then when it comes down to it, people look at someone with anxiety and consider them weak, and they immediately, on my channel, I'm assuming because I'm just a female with a calm approach, they immediately say someone's going to take my preps, or you better have something to protect yourself. Like, calm down. You know, I'm just sitting here, just a girl with, you know, a big heart, trying to share some ways to save some money. So I just been really frustrated with the comments lately, and sitting down and talking to you always helps, of course. And I swore the last video I'm not going to address it anymore, but here I am talking about it again. But I'm going to get these cut just like this, and I will show you the brine that I use, and then use your imagination when canning, or look up a tutorial. It's really easy. All right, I have the cucumbers and onions all sliced up. I'm just gonna divide them pretty evenly throughout those 4 jars, and then I'm gonna get started on the brine, and then I will seal them. The jars are full. I'm gonna press them down a little bit. I like to leave a little bit of head space. I probably could have gotten 5 out of this, but yeah, there they are. And then the brine's over here. There's turmeric in it, which makes it that red color, and you don't want to use aluminum, so go ahead and use your stainless steel or whatever vessel you want here. So they'll just go right on top of here. I halved the recipe because this is made to make 8 to 10 jars, so I will have some when we harvest some more cucumbers, or the farm stand, like I said, that I've been going to, they've been leaving stuff out every day, and you just leave cash in a box. It's a pay what you can, pay what you want. So we always try and leave 10 or 20, as much as we can at least. But we get our farm delivery from them too, and we kind of base our price off of what they sell it for, just to be kind. And yeah, they're out here in Colorado. If you're near me, go ahead and email me and I'll tell you where I get mine from. We have our carrots boiling, so this isn't a ton, but I'm going to just cook these, then blanch them and put them in the freezer bag, and this will be a base for my carrot casserole, and I will just keep doing this every time carrots come out of the garden. And then I have some squash seeds that I'm sorting through. The seeds came from both of these here, and these are sorted. You could roast these, or you could let them dry and save them for next year, which is what we'll do. We purchased heirloom starts of our squash this year, so that's why you can reuse them. But they're nice because you can gift them. You can give them as a gift, especially as a budget-friendly household. It is nice to be able to give a basket of seeds and some of your own tinctures, honey, and really anything handmade, I think, goes a long way when it comes to gifts. But yeah, so we're doing that, and then I will cut up the squash here, and I'm going to freeze that. I'm just setting the seeds out here. I cover it so no insects get to it, but set it out here for about a day, and the sun usually takes care of drying it. You could try these in the oven, but when I think about the oven, I think of the oven cooking things and not really dehydrating it, if that makes sense. So, I mean, it's up to you. You could throw these in a dehydrator too, but the sun works just as good. So I will say, if I'm sounding a bit stressed, we had an eventful day. As those pickles were coming to a cool, I actually took them. They were still in the pot, but I heard Wilder scream and my husband run inside. Long story short, Y was running with scissors, and he tripped over his sister, and it nearly missed his eye. So we are very, very lucky, but it was a very eventful day, especially for him. It was really scary. We went to urgent care just to check and see. It looked like everything was okay, but we just needed an okay from someone higher up. But yeah, never a dull moment with our Wilder. He always seems to surprise us. But also, we're so grateful that he's okay. But during this day, when I'm spending the day indoors and preserving, and something was supposed to be delivered today, but I will share that when they come. I'm excited. you know, you're tied to your cans. So I wasn't here to hear them pop, but they look like they're sealed to me. So I think we'll be okay, but okay. Yeah, so it was an eventful day. He's okay. We just need more scissor safety. He was actually carrying them the way that I told him, which was good. As an art teacher, I want safety for all children, but especially my own. So yes, it was an eventful day. I'm gonna have those seeds dry out. The carrots are ready to be put in the freezer bag, and then the squash I'm gonna put in a freezer bag as well. And we also have some beans out here. I'd love to just can some of those, get them out of the way here. So yes, thank you for letting me vent for a second, because wow, today was a tricky mom day, a tricky day on my mom part. This is what I have going on. The vacuum sealer, the new one, definitely works a lot better with more of a dried veggie. So for corn and things like that, it soaked a lot of the water off and didn't seal, but these sealed just fine. I'm gonna put those in the freezer with my carrots. Again, this is a portion for carrot casserole, and we don't really have many carrots in the freezer, but I would like to just start canning rounds of carrots. I like them better that way when it comes to my casseroles. And then we have our pickles here. We have 4 pint jars of pickles. I like the wide mouth for a lot, to be honest with you, but it's really up to your preference. So yay, again, a little bit goes a long way in my opinion. It will build up. And this was just about as much as I could handle today. So I'm excited. I think we got a lot done. We are outside now. I'm just watching the chicks over here. I made a little quick makeshift outdoor brooder just so they can hang out, because they do get into this garden here. And as you can see, we have cucumber coming through, beans, all of our winter veggies are coming through. I planted those beans along here so I can just trellis them up. I thought they would look nice that way. I don't know. So that's going. You can kind of see. You can kind of see the girls right there. Super cute. But oh, Wilder's toy is going off behind me. But the goal was to take that chicken wire and kind of come down so they have a place to go, just in case I ran inside to, I don't know, switch the laundry out or something. I know I can leave them, but I just get nervous with predators and things like that. So yes. All right, so I am going to call it quits. We had a very eventful day. Do you want to say hi? Hi. So we are just spending some time, relaxing time together after all that we got done today. I'm super excited that we did. I will definitely keep you posted and do more videos when it comes to more preservation, when we get some more crop coming in. But let me know what you're preserving, if you preserve, if you're interested in doing it, your favorite methods, all the things. I love talking to you about this kind of thing here on our little 1-acre homestead, we'll call it. But we are going to sign off. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll see you next time. Can you say? Bye. Bye.